What's up, everybody? This is the Force of Nature Spiritual Awakening, and today we will be discussing empty houses and the natal birth chart. So, a lot of times when I'm analyzing somebody's chart, they say to me, "Oh, I don't have any planets in the second house. I don't have any planets in the 10th house," you know. And they really want to know what exactly does that mean. Like, for example, if somebody didn't have any planets in the seventh house, a lot of times people that don't have planets in the seventh house will tend to think that then destined to not get married, or they're not going to have a long committed relationship that's healthy, okay, or good for them, or all their relationships is going to be fucked up because they have no planets there. So today I'm going to break this down to you, and this is actually going to be the empty houses and what that really means. And I'm going to do, this is going to be part one. So this is going to be the first house all the way through the sixth house, okay? And part two is going to be the seventh house all the way through the 12th. Okay, so let's jump into this and let's just settle this like once and for all, period. All right, so having an empty first house. First of all, we already know that the first house is ruled by Aries, and Aries' ruling planet is Mars. So when you're speaking about this house is about aggression. It's about being a soldier. It's about being a warrior, being a fighter. But it also has to deal with your identity. It has to deal with yourself, what you identify yourself to, and what people also seem to pick up off of you when they are meeting you. The first house is linked to the ascendant. Okay, so this very much has to deal with your appearance. Okay, the way that you look, your physical body, your strength. Okay, so having an empty first house, the first house is about self. When this house is empty, it means you will not face many significant challenges in developing your sense of identity. With this house being empty, it means that you will largely feel satisfied with who you are. Okay? So, not having any planets entering into this house is going to mean that you are satisfied with who you are. Okay? When it comes to identifying yourself to things, okay? This makes somebody a confident person as well. Somebody that's sure of themselves, knows who they are, and they don't care about how people are perceiving them. Okay, this is not their concern. All right, just to let you know, when you don't have any planets in this particular house, it's not a major focus of yours. So it's not going to be a difficulty for yours. All right. Now, having an empty second house. Traditionally, the second house is ruled by Taurus, and Taurus ruling planet is Venus. So the second house has to deal with the intake and the outtake of money. It also has to deal with luxury, beauty, all right, tranquility, finances when it comes to how you're getting your money, okay, how you're accumulating this money. It also has to deal with materials, okay, self-worth, what you feel like you deserve. So it has a lot to do with value. So the second house of value, especially when it comes to finances and material things, an empty second house does not mean that you will not acquire wealth, but that you will not be focusing on this area of life. This means that you will always be set with exactly what you need in life. Okay, so when people are speaking about this particular house, and this house also has to deal with survival. Okay, survival skills and maintaining bills, being self-made, being self-sufficient, not having to depend and rely on people for things. This is what it means. But this area of life is not a difficulty for you, as if you do not have any planets in the second house. It's not a focus of yours. So one thing that could definitely happen is that money could come to you effortlessly. Okay, like you don't have to really go hard or focus or stress, be worried, okay, because it's going to come your way anyway. Okay, you're not caught up in money, you're not caught up in survival like that. Okay, it may just come naturally to you, just to make it happen, make shit work, make things work for you out of nothing, making something out of nothing. Okay, an empty third house. We do know that the third house has to deal with Gemini. Okay, and the ruling planet of Gemini is Mercury. Okay, so this has a lot to deal with your mind, your intellect, all right, communications, early communications, body language. And it has to deal with early childhood learning, but also your siblings. So the third house of communications with the house with an empty house will have strong communication skills. So these people, if you do not have any planets in the third house, this is going to be a person that actually has strong communication skills, so to speak. You will not have to struggle with how to express yourself or advocate for your needs. Making and having connections will come easy to you. So making connections will come easy to you. All right. It will not be like a issue for you or anything like that. It will be more like when you're having a conversation with somebody and you're just chopping it up, kicking it, and things like that. Um, you don't have to think hard on it, pretty much. And I know you can hear all of these different things around me. This is because this is the thing that goes on here. Okay, now, the fourth house. Okay, having an empty fourth house. Hold on. See, somebody's having a conversation right in the middle of the video. Okay, let's move on. An empty fourth house.
Just put it in whatever. Maybe they're gonna start with this one first. I don't know. Okay, I'm over.
I'm sorry, y'all. This is why I have to move because it's a problem when I'm doing videos and things like that. It's really pissing me off too. And I'm sorry about that. And thank you for your patience. Okay, having an empty fourth house. Okay. The fourth house is linked to Cancer, and Cancer's ruling planet is the moon. So the fourth house has to deal with your family's lineage, past lives, domestic life, the family home, your roots. It also has to deal with the actual childhood home that you grew up in. It also has to deal with your mother and the way that she raised you, the way that you felt like she raised you, or whoever it was that raised you and was that motherly figure. So it's a lot with this house, okay? Nurturing, kind, gentle. Um, it's a lot going on with the fourth. So when you have an empty fourth house, the fourth house of family and home also represents your roots, family, as well as home atmosphere. So when this, good morning, how you doing? When this house is empty, it means that you likely came from a stable and secure childhood home, and that you are effortlessly able to create one now in this lifetime. This is a strong indication that you will not struggle in this area. So people that do not have any planets in the fourth house, okay, this is a strong indication that you guys probably grew up in a good home, didn't have a lot of family conflict. Okay, now please keep in mind that you're going to have other things in your chart, okay, that may indicate something like that. Okay, but let's just say that you have an empty fourth house and you don't have any negative aspects, okay, to the moon. Okay, because if you have the moon negatively aspected, it's going to affect shit. Okay, remember that. You have to remember things like that. But let's just say that's not the case, and this is the case, you're cool. An empty fifth house. So the fifth house is linked to Leo, and Leo's ruling planet is the sun. So when we're speaking about the fifth house, we are talking about a fun house. Turning up, having a good time, the limelight, talent, creativity, children, okay, casual encounters, casual affairs, expressing yourself, being expressive, glamorous, gambling. Gambling is seen with displacement, taking a risk, taking a chance. Okay, so being free, all right, but also being adored is seen with displacement, just having a good time. So if you don't have any planets in the fifth house, you don't have to worry about expressing your true self. Okay, so not having any planets in the fifth house, you can be able to express yourself more openly, freely, and it's not an issue for you. While the fifth house is about pleasure and it's also about excitement, it governs your sense of expression, authenticity, and creativity. So the lack of planets here does not indicate an absence of pleasure in your life. Instead, it's going to actually mean the opposite, okay, where you will be able to enjoy life. You will be able to have fun. You will be able to go on dates, take gambles, okay, gamble a little bit, take risk, okay, being a risk taker, taking a chance, all right, and living it up that way. So it's actually going to mean the opposite. It doesn't mean that you're not going to have a good time in life, okay? You may just have a very much enjoyment for life, actually. Okay, an empty sixth house. All right, the sixth house is considered a very kind of difficult house, so to speak. The sixth house is ruled by Virgo, and Virgo's ruling planet, okay, is Mercury. So when we're thinking about the sixth house, we are thinking about hard work. We're thinking about hard work and dedication, maintaining bills, running errands, your health, your diet, okay? The intake and the outtake, okay? The intake of what you put into your body, it also is linked to diseases. So this particular house is very analytical, very detail orientated, very strict at times. That's what goes on and takes place with this. So the sixth house is the house of health. This is considered one of the more negative houses within the astrology. So having no planets here is actually an extremely positive thing, as it means you will likely have no significant health problems. You will be able to maintain a healthy weight and lifestyle and make decisions and choices that support and balance you out when it comes to life and the way that you want to create it. Okay, so like I said before, this is a bit of a difficult house, but having no planets here is actually beneficial to you. All right, I'm going to leave this on the snow for now, and in future videos to come, I'll go more into depth into this, okay, because we definitely have more information about this, but I just wanted to hit y'all with this. All right, and I'll be back with part 2. So this is A Force of Nature, spiritual awakening. Love is love, peace and blessings to you all, and I will see you on the next one.